Hey, welcome to the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. I hope you're doing well today. It's Thursday. It's for our Thursdays where we talk about requirements, reviews, retros, and roles. Today, I want to talk more about prep work. I got an email. I'm going to take a public speaking course given by my mentor starting next week. It's like a 6-week thing. It's a good deal. Anyway, and then there he wrote, "You must practice." So he says, I'll help you I'll give you 30 years worth of knowledge and everything, but it does take practice. You have to get out there and practice. And then I thought about that. And that goes the same thing with prep work. You got a lot of P's in there. And we got Sleeping Bubbles over here who raided the cookies last night. Apparently she was able to get her hands on some Girl Scout cookies because I guess she didn't have enough fortune cookies and decided to eat a whole bag of fortune cookies. Anyway, so it's about prep work. So today also I'm supposed to go visit my kid's teacher at school, and they don't give you the report card until you meet with them. And it reminded me of prep work and how I prep for reviews and what do I want to say, refinement sessions and sprint planning and all that kind of stuff, and what I would do as a Scrum Master and how I see when I try to coach Scrum Masters in preparing for these events that they really don't, right? And it doesn't really take much. And then it makes me wonder if they really are prepared for these events. Or they just going by the skin of their teeth or whatever it is, right? So today I want to talk about prep. It doesn't take much. It's really easy to do, and it gives an opportunity to prepare everyone in the same mindset for the meeting. And I'll get into that today. And I hope you're doing well. And this is the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show, where we talk about Scrum and Agile in a very practical and tactical way, so you can bring more value to your customer, not spend a lot of time bringing that value to customer, and have a little fun. And what I'm talking about today, hopefully, will help you lower that amount of time you got to spend and how you go about doing it, and make it easier to get to where you need to be. And with that prep, it does take a little work. If you have, and this applies to any meeting, whether it be an Agile Scrum meeting, a work meeting, or a team meeting, a sales meeting, or whatever, having some data before you get into the room helps with the conversation. Now, as a coach, I am used to people ignoring me. They listen, but they blow me off sometimes. Later on, I go, yeah, you're right. I'm right halftime, right? Anyway, what they say is that they don't have enough. They'll just do it. But in prep, they get everyone in the same mental state. Whether or not someone reviews what you send them, but it's not your fault anymore. Part of everything I do is a transition. It ain't me, it is you. I gave you the agenda. I gave you the list of stories we're going to talk about today. I gave you a link to all the stuff we're going to do. I gave you the presentation deck prior to meeting. Whether or not you read it or not is up to you, but you can't turn it on me, well, I didn't know. What I do is I prevent people from saying, I did not know. And if you say I did not know, I said, did you get the agenda? Yes. Did you read it? No. Is it, and whose fault is that? Right? Not to say anything. I tried. What can I do? And this was someone made a good question, a tough question to ask, one of those strong questions, right? And the question was, how can we work better together? Or how can we help each other out? What do I need to do? So I won't come back and say, well, you didn't prepare. I said, well, then how can I help us be better prepared in the future? What can I do, or what can we do to be better prepared for these events? And you can have these discussions on the side. You don't have them in the event, right? But by doing so, people get in the habit of, all right, Greg, he's going to send me the agenda beforehand. I should read it because I want to make sure I'm up to speed, but he's been doing it on a regular basis, so I might as well look at it. And you don't want an agenda that's 50 million pages long. I mean, unless it's like a quarterly or yearly review or something, but even that, I don't know if anybody's going to pay attention. But it should be brief and to the point. And what I see is a lot of Scrum Masters don't do this, right? And then they complain, well, why don't they know? Or why isn't discussion going? Because you're not doing your job to prepare and doing that little legwork. So, in a refinement session, what stories are we going to refine during the session? What features are we going to look at? There's nothing wrong. If you don't know ahead of time what it is, how is anybody else going to know, right? Doing a sprint planning, what are the goal? What are the stories we're looking at introducing? Here's a list of stories. Send them a prep email. Hey, tomorrow's our sprint review or sprint planning. Please make sure I have them all in the sprint bucket in Jira or whatever system you use. And then they can see what's there. And if they have any questions, they can bring those questions to the planning session, which they should, right? But you need to let everybody know it's all ready to go. It's there. It's up to you. When you get a chance to go look at it, please do. And the same thing with reviews. You're going to review a product line. You should enter, these are the features we're going to show today. And here's a little thing, little caveat on that, and prep for it. Because what you don't want is you don't want your customer, your stakeholder, the person you're going to communicate with in these presentations to be unprepared. Because what happens when they aren't prepared? They get defensive, right? They get defensive. They go, oh, I didn't know, or this isn't good. And they react to it and all that stuff. And what I see is people are afraid to provide the prep work because maybe the person who's setting it up is not prepared as well, right? They're prepared. There's going to be things missing or something's bad news or whatever. I'd rather give people bad news so they can emotionally react to it away from the team before they come into the team. So maybe they get the bad news. Maybe they may jump on me and say, what the heck happened, Greg? And I'll explain to them so that when they come into the meeting, their emotional level comes down. Now, you'd be amazed how many people don't do that. For example, meeting with the teachers for my son. They don't give you the report card until you show up. So unless you go online and log in, which I think we can, I'm pretty sure, and look at the grades and everything, you're not prepared going into the discussion. So there is no chance for the parents to formulate questions that they may want to ask of the teacher. They have to do it right on the spot. And who likes to formulate questions right on the spot? I know I don't, right? So it's one of those things where you don't want to set up an environment. And again, this is all part of facilitation for those instantaneous questions because one, you don't know what they are. The other person's not prepped for them and they might throw you a doozy. They still might throw you a doozy, but at least you can say, well, I did my due diligence to prepare you for those questions so that you could ask them. And then you create that environment so that they can ask them, right? So it does take work, but it doesn't take that much. I mean, what is it? A list you already did that you're going to have that you give them a day before. Maybe you're a day ahead of the group when you do your refinement sessions or you do your planning sessions or you do your reviews. You pretty much should have it all figured out the day before. If something gets finished and you want to take credit of it, like in between when you prepped it and got it, then you throw a little page. Oh, by the way, we got a good news story. Such and such happened. Or by the way, we have a bad news story. Such and such broke last night. So we're not going to do this. But it depends. But you want to prep. You want to share that prep with your stakeholders and the people that are going to be in attendance of your events and your meetings, whether you be doing a sales group or marketing group or whatever. Maybe you have to share some stats of how things are going. You don't really want to surprise them as much as possible, if possible. I have one group that doesn't close the sprints until like in the middle of sprint planning. And so I can't really print the charts of where we are and what we got done until that event occurs. But we do kind of look at stuff. But yeah, that's what I got. But I wanted to share that with you. Do a little prep work, do a little practice, as my mentor for public speaking says. It takes practice, right? So get in the habit of coming up a way to make it easier on yourself. Here's my agenda. Here I copy and paste, boom, goes in an email, boom, it goes out to everyone, and everyone knows what's coming up. So they can decide also, which I've talked about in the past, to attend or not. All these people love having these invite lists and invite everyone and their brother so they feel like they are important, don't they? Right? I want to CC copy everyone in the world that we're doing our thing so I can look good. Well, maybe everyone on those CC don't need to be there because the topics you're going to talk about have nothing to do with them, which I do think that would be another conversation. How I believe you should CC everyone on the planet for your events just because you want to look good. We could do that another day. But anyway, I want to share that with you. It doesn't take much. Make a little list, get in the habit, find a way of doing it really quick, easy, so it doesn't take a lot of your time because we want to save time, as in the book, Buy Back Your Time. Want a quick way? I already got it all set up. It's in the system. Grab it, boom, copy, paste, boom, email, boom, done. Right? And if they want to get back to me, put a little note, hey, if you want to get it back to me before the meeting, discuss anything that you have a real concern about that you want to address before we get in front of a group of people, feel free, right? Sets you up for success. Anyway, a little prep rather than going cold with information or data is always a good thing. So I wanted to share that today on this 4R Thursday where we talk about requirements, reviews, retros, and roles. And that's one of the things the Scrum Master should be doing. And I'll be honest with you, when I see Scrum Master don't do it, I wonder sometimes that they're really prepared for the conversation that they're about to have. Anyway, take care. I want to wish you the best. Happy Scrumming. Bubbles, do you want to say hi? Come here, big cat. Oh, cookie thief. Here's Bubbles. She's here. She hangs out. She hangs out with every show. Anyway, I want to wish you the best. Hope you're all feeling good. My house is, everyone's got a stuffy nose now or something because of the weather change. So I want to wish you the best. I want to have a healthy day and happy Scrumming. Take care, everyone.